Hey, hey, hey. Oh, hold on a second. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm just. Of course, I clicked the live, and I forgot to plug in just in case the hard line, because you never know. Sometimes it gets a little patchy when I do this. Okay, so I look like I'm completely unorganized. I look like I need to pull it together. Okay, hello. I just hit my funny bone. It hurts. Hey, not sure on YouTube. How's it going? Good. Thank you for joining. Two Hacks Garage. Hello, YouTube is representing here. Okay, Annette's in the house. Anne Marie, hello. Kelbell, I like it. Frankie, Andrew, Ricky, Lisa, Rita. Just come on in here. Wow. How's everybody doing? I mean, I was on the phone with my mom earlier, and I was like, it's crazy that I'm like talking about possible nuclear war. Like, like it maybe. Let's just pray to God no, but to even have that conversation is crazy. And she's like, yeah, the last time, we were talking about like nuclear war, she goes, I was a kid. And it's like 50s, 60s early, and they would practice like hiding under their desks. She's like that's going to do anything in a nuclear war, like, but that's like they actually did drills where they would pretend like they're, not pretend, they would actually hide, like, woo, nuclear war, and then they'd hide under their desks. That's but it's human nature to be like, this is what we're going to do if this happens. And it's crazy. It's crazy that, and sad that that even has to possibly be, maybe kind of could be us, out there. It's just, everyone's back of the mind right here. It's like, oh yeah, no, we're fine. But so here we are. This is what happens when you have weak leadership. I would love to just go off on every single person that had a problem with the mean tweets. Huh? How you feeling now? Because you put my kids in danger. You put my children in a tough scenario. But I'm going to be kind, because hindsight's 2020. And maybe, just maybe, some people are like, yeah, maybe the mean tweets are okay. Maybe I'm okay with, $2 a gallon gas and mean tweets and not pending war. Like, maybe I would opt for that right now. Maybe you would. I don't, maybe. I don't know what it's going to take to wake up some people. I'll still have trolls come up on here and be like, oh, no, the mean tweets are the worst thing in the world. He's so horrible. Orange Man was so bad. He was so bad. Yeah. And he might have been a bully, right? He might have been a bully. But I'll tell you, bullies don't mess with other bullies. Okay? I don't know if you were bullied as a child, but when I was on the playground, the bully always went after the weak ones. Always went after the weak. They saw the weak ones and they went after them. And people that stood up to the bully were no longer bullied. So sometimes you have to have a little bit of oomph to stand up to the bully, to get the bully to back down. And now we got somebody that can't put a sentence together. Honestly, he's hoping that the Iranian people are doing well right now. That's concerning. So here we are. Just a few thoughts running through my head. First, to start this whole thing, I want to tell you, the other night, Tuesday night, I missed the State of the Union address, so I had to come back and watch it later. But I went and I led caucus for my precinct. I'm a precinct leader. I highly encourage all of you to get involved locally. Okay. You're starting to feel like you can't control anything. You feel like everything's out of control. Pending war, could go to war, nuclear war. There's a human desire to want to control what you can control. Get involved locally. I sincerely mean that. Become a precinct leader. Knock on doors. Get involved in your community. Volunteer at church. Volunteer at your kid's school. Get involved. Okay, that will make you feel. It really will make you feel like you have a little bit more control over your tiny little bubble that you're in, because we're all in our little bubbles. We are. And when stuff like this happens, it makes us feel absolutely tiny. It does. It's like, I don't have control over that. Like, I have no control over someone's like, I'm gonna just press this button. I can't control that. I can't, and you can't either. So get to a place where you can control what you can control. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can control your home. You can control what happens under the roof of your home. You have a say over your neighboring community. You can have a say in that. So anyways, okay, so I'm at caucus the other night, Tuesday night, and they're like, yeah, you're in this room, Rachel. This is the room that you're going to be leading caucus. And I was like, okay, thanks. So I walk into the room and I start setting up everything, and I'm like, it just feels different in here, because I'm very like, there's spiritual stuff that goes on, right? I don't know, I just can sense stuff, right? So I'm like, I'm putting it, and I start to like walk around the class. And as I'm walking around the class, I'm seeing loads of propaganda on the wall. Now, I want to tell you, I am in a conservative county, okay? Conservative county, conservative district. And I was like, what is this junk? Like, whoever this teacher is, this woman is angry. She's angry at the world. Okay, this is one of the pictures. I don't know if you guys can see this one. Let's just show this one. This is one of the pictures. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Keep your filthy laws off my silky drawers. Okay, imagine this. You're a young, bright-eyed 14-year-old, just got out of 8th grade. You're heading to high school. You're super excited. You get put in this lady's class. Let's see what else that she had on here. Give thanks to the creator. She's got a couple people. Love is love making out on the wall there, because we really want teachers to get involved in, this kind of stuff. Okay, watch. Okay, these people are activists, radical activists. The problem with the whole education world is these people decide, I'm going to be a teacher, and they became a teacher. A lot of these teachers became teachers to literally transform their little class, right? They're like, I have these people for 8 hours and I can get them to think whatever I want them to think. Activists, okay? All of the activists on here are leftists. We've got Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, Greta Thunberg, or whatever her name is. We've got the guy, the head of CRT. What's his name? He's on here. Ibram X. Kendi, right? These are her. I know they're posing them as heroes on her wall. Okay. Protest is patriotic. You guys can even screenshot this as I'm talking. Blow that up. Let's see what else is on this. Like all sorts of stuff. Color, like a lot of color. You identify with your color, who you are. It's not the content of your character, but of course, what color you are. Grab them by the patriarchy. That's a nice one. Okay. This is a conservative county, guys. Okay. If your kids are in high school in a conservative county, wake up. You're not safe. These people have literally they've come to indoctrinate your children to fill their heads with whatever they want to fill their heads with. Okay. They're not teaching math, science. They are literally trying to propagate your child's mind. And it is vital as a parent to be involved in your child's life. Okay. And this was a huge call for me, because I was like, my kids, thank God, they're at a charter school that is hardcore Constitution loves America, excellent curriculum, highly recommended, Latin being taught, cursive being taught, reading the classics, all of that. But still, it is my job as a parent to know what they're learning and to be heavily involved in their lives in every atmosphere. And a lot of people are like, as a Christian, you're supposed to be in the world, and you're, not when they're little. Okay, kids are like sponges, right? And I believe you're like a sponge, like all the way up in through your 20s, okay? And it is our job as parents to guard and to protect who's speaking into their lives. Honestly, and it's amazing to me. This lady's teaching literature, okay? That was the I'm not gonna say her name. I would love for her to come across this video. Um, but she has an agenda. She has an agenda and she's working it every single day with these young minds. And it is vital for us to get involved. Yes, we're taking over school boards, thank God, but it doesn't stop there. We've got radical teachers in our school system that are not there to teach literature, math, science, whatever. They're there to instill and propagate a leftist radical agenda. And that's what they're there for. And you got to know, you got to be talking to your kids, you got to be having daily conversations with them. And this is one thing that I highly recommend, and I've said this before on videos. I'm one of 7 children. I have 2 incredible parents. I have a wonderful relationship with my parents, and that was raised in a conservative atmosphere. But my parents were always challenging us. They were always playing like devil's advocate, right? And you've got to do that with your kid because they're going to come in contact with people that do not align with your family values. They're going to come in contact with people that directly oppose everything you've worked so hard to instill in your child. So your job is to play the devil's advocate in your kid's life, right? Be like a radical feminist talking to your kid and tell them what, like, argue with them and teach them to stand on their own. We would have countless dinners as a family where all the time, especially my older brother, would be the devil's advocate. He would, and we would go toe to toe and argue. And I'd have to know how to stand my ground and why I think what I think. So that when I was launched into the world, and I did go to a liberal university, and I did sit under radical feminist teachers, leftist CRT type propaganda teaching that started even years ago. And I was able to filter it. I was able to recognize what was happening. And I was able to still hold my own. And it is so important. We're raising people today that don't know how to deal with conflict. Your kids are gonna have conflict. They're gonna come against people that will stare them in the eye and face them and say everything your parents taught you is wrong. La 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 la. Hate yourself. Hate this. Hate America. On and on and on. And your kid's gonna have to know it's coming and be prepared to argue against it. It's basically preparing your kid for battle, right? Because it's a battle of the mind and it's a battle of the heart. And we have to be more vigilant as parents to know how to battle, right? You can't throw your kid out there unarmed. That's so unwise. Arm your kids with truth. Arm your kids with the real truth, right? Not with this indoctrination crap. Oh, teach them to argue, teach them to debate, teach them that they're going to have conflict and present that conflict to them so that they know how to stand their ground. So that just threw me, and I was like, I gotta mention that really quick because that's just like, I was like, this teacher's angry and she's on a mission, okay? And she's not the only one, okay? They're all over the place, and this is a conservative county, so even if you're like, hey, we're in a really conservative county, we're fine. No, okay, these teachers are coming everywhere. They're on a mission, so be aware and be vigilant. Okay, so the main topic obviously is everyone's talking about Ukraine and everyone's having these different opinions and lots. I mean, I was on a video. You guys might have seen this video. There was this guy sitting in his car and he's going off that, Putin's not really the bad guy and everything like that. And that is not true. Okay. Putin is the bad guy. He's a bad guy. But this is what I want to say, because often like we want to say these are the bad guys and these are the good guys. Right. And that's not always this situation here. That's not always the case. Putin is not a globalist. Okay. He's not down with the new world order. He's not down with the global reset. He's not down with that. Okay. And that just needs to be prefaced, because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, because he's not part of that, then he's fine. No, he's not fine. Okay. You cannot like Putin and you cannot like the globalist New World Order, Great Reset, World Economic Forum people. Like you cannot like both of them. So I want to just preface that because a lot of people are like, well, I don't know. And there's a lot of misinformation going on out there, right? And so the biggest thing to do is just to listen. Like I went and I listened to one of Putin's recent speeches to the World Economic Forum. And he basically said, as I was listening this morning while I'm like painting my walls, I was listening to him talk and he was saying, the New World Order is dead. Like it's over. It's not working. Like that's basically what he said, which has got to enrage everybody that's like in the World Economic Forum that's like all in on this global reset that they're like totally excited about, that they speak openly about. So this isn't just to the trolls. This isn't conspiracy theory stuff. This is like open out there being talked about, written about, spoken about, global reset. Let's do this. Now's our time. Okay. So let's just get that out there. But he basically goes on with the Schwab guy or whatever his name is, Klaus Schwab or whatever. That guy's a character. And says, it's over. Like it's over. So what Putin is doing, and I'm not, I am not a foreign policy expert here, but he really believes in like the USSR, motherland, Russia, right? And he wants that back. Okay, so that's like what he's doing right now. Absolutely terrible and horrible. You never invade a sovereign nation. Like this should be condemned. It's wrong. And that's what I have to say with that. Okay, totally wrong. Totally wrong. But I'm also not on the World Economic Forum, global reset. We're all just, one giant country and the elite will rule us and we're all going to own nothing and we're going to all, have one world currency. I'm not down with that group either. I'm on team individual liberty and freedom. That's what team I'm on. That's what team I've always been on. And that's what team I'm supporting. So don't get weird with this. Like, cause some people are like getting weird and they're like, you don't have to. Team freedom, team individual liberty and freedom is the team to choose. That's the right team. That's the good team. That's the godly team because God is for freedom, right? Where the spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty. I say this all the time when I come on here. So that's the team to be on. Now I do want to also mention, because I don't like when I'm being led. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you guys, I feel like we've been taken on a journey here by the media and by certain politicians, certain news organizations. I feel like they've taken us on a journey. And I was on the phone with my dad. I talk to my parents all the time. I was on with my dad. My dad and I are always talking politics. And I was on with him recently and I said, they've taken us on a journey to make us feel like, the underdog has a shot here, right? The Ukrainian people are fighting back. They've got a shot, cheering them on. And that really has pulled Americans and people all over the world into this country, in this fight. And it's gotten very emotional and people have gotten very invested, right? And the underdog doesn't have a shot. And I know that like, oh, I don't want to hear that. I believe it's going to get really ugly and really nasty. And it's going to be bad. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope that I'm so wrong with this. But I never thought the underdog really had a shot. So I thought it was interesting that the media was really pushing this underdog. They've got this shot. Let's just cheer them on. Oh my gosh, let's go. And it's pulled everybody in. And it's going to be heartbreaking if we see tragedy here. But the media didn't do this with Afghanistan. The media didn't take us and show us the women and the children that were slaughtered by ISIS. Like we weren't taken on that journey. People weren't wearing pins at the State of the Union, for everyone that was in the Middle Eastern wars, all that stuff, like all of that. Just to give you an example, 3,000 Christians died in Nigeria in 2021. You guys probably never even heard about that, right? 3,000 Christians slaughtered by Boko Haram in 2021 in Nigeria. But the media, we're not hearing that, right? So it's very much focused on this one country that has had a lot of corruption in the past, very corrupt government, a lot of oligarchs, people in power have funneled money and laundered money through Ukraine. This is widely known as well. And there's a lot of focus on this country right now. And I believe that this is trying to get us into a situation we should never be in, right? But now they've got the media, politicians have got us emotionally invested in this. We're emotionally drawn in. So if something horrible happens, you're going to hear more people push for involvement. And that concerns me. That concerns me. So I don't know. And I could be totally wrong. I'm literally just saying my thoughts, what I'm thinking. I'm not a foreign policy expert. I'm not professing to be anything like that, but I do study people. Um, I do study behavior. I study the media. I study the left. That's what I do. And I've noticed there's a real strong drive, a real strong push to bring people in and have them invested in this. And if tragedy were to strike, I believe that a lot of people around the world would want a reaction. And sometimes a quick reaction can cause a big, big, big explosion, bigger reactions. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's my concern. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking. Um, and the other thing is that a lot of people are talking about right now is why are we still getting oil from Russia? Like, and I saw Jen Psaki on there on today saying, it would just take too much time to start the Keystone Pipeline again, and so we're just, um, I just want to make this note. Every single climate activist out there, they have made it so hard. They pushed regulation so hard on America that we've shut down a lot of our oil production in the country just because of heavy climate activists pushed regulation that's been completely welcomed by the Biden administration, right? So a lot of this we would be fine. Like we could open up drilling and drill away, remove a lot of this red tape regulation, and just say, you know what, we're going to drive the cost of oil down, 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 and just destroy Putin. Just that alone. But we're not doing that. We're not doing that. And you've got to ask yourself why. Why aren't we doing that? Do they care that much about these climate activists? Like, and to the climate activists, you've brought us to this point. Because I don't know, like, why do we have to shut down oil and drilling and stuff in the United States, which has better regulation, right? Which makes sure that things are being done environmentally safe. It's not hurting. It's not impacting. It's being done in a well-regulated, environmentally friendly type way. And then they're totally not fine with that, but they're okay with Russia drilling, which is like regulate, like whatever. Let's just drill. They're not being heavily watched by environmentalists over there. So it's less environmentally friendly to be drilling and getting our oil from Russia. Like, I mean, that's just common sense to me. So if the trolls could tell me why you're totally fine with the non-regulated oil, but you don't want the regulated oil, like that doesn't make sense. And it makes absolutely no sense that we're not drilling and opening up and becoming energy independent like we were under the previous administration. It doesn't make any sense. So that's another thing. Like why? Like why are we empowering Russia? Do we want Russia to do something so then everyone else reacts to what Russia does? Like, I just want us to just be really skeptical. I think sometimes it's very healthy to be skeptical, and it's very healthy to question what you're seeing and question what you're being told. Okay. Especially after these last couple of years, right? I mean, if anything we've learned from the last couple of years is the media lies. They lie, 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 lie. And it takes a while for the truth to eventually come out. We're starting to see it now with all the stuff that's been hidden by the CDC, data information. I can't mention, a lot of it because of censorship, but we're starting to see the truth come out on a lot of this stuff, but it takes a while. So just be leery. Like it's okay to be leery on all of this. So, that's basically what those are my thoughts. That's basically what I wanted to come on and say. I don't know. I don't like feeling like I'm being led. I don't like feeling like, hey, come on this journey with me. and let me really get you emotionally involved and invested. And that's not to say that we're not to pray and definitely pray for the innocent Ukrainians that are involved in this and the innocent Russians, man, because with these sanctions, it's going to really hurt Russia, the people of Russia. That are completely innocent in this. They're like, we've got a crazy leader. We have, why are we, it sucks. It sucks a lot. It sucks for everybody because it's leadership, right? Your leadership has a huge, who you pick to lead has a huge consequence. And not to say, I mean, Putin kind of put himself there and has kept himself there. So, but for us, I mean, we are seeing the consequences of weak leadership right now. We're seeing the consequences of, man, not being taken seriously on the world stage. And keep your eye on China right now with Taiwan. I just, it's an interesting time to be alive, but we're supposed to be alive for this time. And I say this every time when I come on here because I think it's excellent and important to remind ourselves that we're here for now, right? You're not an accident. You're here for now. You're born for such a time as this. And regardless of what's ahead, we got to trust in God. This is when you really put your trust in God. When and you don't really know what you're made of until you're really put in a situation where you have to trust. Where you're like, God, I don't know what's going to happen. I pray to God that everything just calms down and doesn't escalate. And Putin's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm going back to Russia. We'll leave you guys alone. Ukraine, you do your thing. I would love it for it to de-escalate. But regardless of what happens, right? We should be praying. We should be praying for the innocent people that are trapped in the middle of this. And we should be praying that praying for peace, but also at the same time, like God just brings me back to, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. And God is outside of all of this, right? He's watching all of it. He knows how this thing ends. He knows how it starts. He knows it all. And so really, like when you want insight and you want knowledge and you want direction on how to just be in these times, it's to seek God, right? He'll guide you. He'll guide you. Even I was talking to my sister the other day. She's like, I don't know, she's just dealing with a certain situation. I said, well, go where there's peace, right? Because God is not the author of confusion. He's not going to be like, oh, let's make it really hard for Rachel so she can't figure it out. God is not the author of confusion. He will give you peace, right? And when you seek him, there is peace. So in the midst of all of this, because everyone out there right now is like, nobody knows outside of God how this is all going to go. And nobody's an expert on anything really, because there's a lot of stuff we don't know about, right? There's a lot of corruption that we don't know about. Even the most foreign policy expert of all might not know about some of the stuff that certain people are involved with that are secret. But I believe that God is the God of exposure, and he will expose what has been hidden in darkness. So that's kind of what I just wanted to say. Anyways, it's my Friday. Well, enjoy your Friday, Annette. Let's see here. What else is going on? The Bible is the blueprint. Yes, it is. Totally is. And I mean, and when you really dig into Revelations and you dig into Daniel, even I was reading Daniel the other day, and a lot of this is talked about. Like it's talked about. So it's not like, and the question is, okay, where are we then in time? I don't know, but I do know that the Bible, which is right here for me, just happens to be right here, is your source. It really is your source. And it provides incredible peace in times like this, because because what's going on right now makes you feel tiny, right? But God knows every single hair on your head, right? He in the midst of all of it, he sees you. He knows you. He wants a relationship with you, and he will guide you in these times. So trust in the Lord and your Glock. Nice. Yes, I'm full supporter of the Second Amendment. Yes, of course. And definitely I buy ammo. It's never a wrong time to buy ammo. Just saying. What version do you study? I'm King James. King James. I Dakes. I like Dakes. I don't know if you guys, but Dakes and I kind of disagree on some stuff in Daniel, because he thinks a lot of the stuff is already passed with like Persian Empire and stuff like that. But I think it's still yet to come when you read his commentary. But let's see here. God is all knowing. Yes, He is. You are an in-person. Oh, thank you. Oh, sweet of you, Manette. Are there any Bible verses specific to exposing the truth? Yes. Luke. I'll read it to you. Let me look it up. This is one of my favorite verses. Sorry, this is like long, awkward pause. Long, awkward pauses with Rachel. Okay, yeah, this one. This is a great verse. Luke 12:2. There is nothing concealed that will not be disclosed, or hidden that will not be made known. Yeah, I like the King James. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So whatever's being hidden, and I mean, there are evil people that plot evil, right? A lot of them are right out there openly. Just you pray that their plans fail, right? Anyways, all right, you guys, I'm not going to keep jabbering away. And we know Romans 8:20. I don't have that memorized, but type that one out or I'll look it up. All right, you guys, God bless you. Thank you for your support. I do have a Patreon support. I never mentioned this because people are like, well, how do you support and how do you, your videos and all that stuff and your wigs, and everything you work with. I do have a supporter page. So if you'd like to support, I would love your support. That keeps me going. It's encouragement, especially when the censorship hits and I'm like, okay, I made a video and like 3 people saw it. Should I even keep doing this? I come back to my patrons that are like just faithfully like, no, keep going, keep going. So I'm very thankful for them, and a shout out to them if you're on here watching. God bless you guys. You guys really are a blessing. I mean that. So, all right. I'm going to go back to, I don't even think I mentioned, I'm painting my kitchen. It's always good to just kind of have some kind of mindless project during these times. So doing that. All right. That's just a random bit of information. All right, you guys, God bless you. Keep praying. Pray for the people that are innocently involved, and even pray for our leaders. I'm pray for wisdom. Because people need wisdom right now, especially in these times. You cannot be irrational or crazy. You have to be level-headed and wise in these times. All right, enough. We'll talk later. Thanks for watching, guys.